Hi everyone, my name is Jia Zet, metric number 263245. So today I'm going to discuss about the company performance for Nissan Motor Corporations. The company performance is the main issues concerning for every company. This means that the company performance is also concerned by the Nissan Motor Corporations. Company performance is affect the company value in the market, and we can measure the company value by using return on assets, which is also known as ROA. The ROA is affected by the internal and external factors of the company. There are three research objectives for this study. The first one is to determine the internal factors that may affect the company performance. The second is to investigate the external factors that may affect the company performance. Third one is to examine the internal and external factors that may influence the company performance. There's also three research questions for this study too. The first one is there any relationships between internal factors and return on assets? The second is there any relationship between the external factors and with return on assets? And third, which is the last research question for this study, is there any relationship between internal and external factors towards return on assets? So the second part for this study is literature review. In this study, literature review can be divided into 5 sections, which the first one is corporate governance, second credit risk, third operational risk, the fourth liquidity risk, and the fifth is market risk. Credit risk is the probability of the loss that resulting from the borrower fail to repay the loan. So the third section is operational risk. Operational risk is the uncertainties and hazards a company faces when it comes to day-by-day business operation activities. Next one is liquidity risk. Liquidity risk occur when it happens lack of marketability of an investment that cannot be bought or sold quickly to prevent or minimize a loss. So the last section for the literature review is market risk. Market risk is to determine the market worthiness of an investment. Now let me tell you the elements of internal and external factors for Nissan Motor Corporations. The internal factors for Nissan Motor Corporations are liquidity risk, operational risk, credit risk, and corporate governance index. For your information, corporate governance index is measured by the 5 pillars of corporate governance, which is accountability, transparency, independence, fairness, and sustainability. So for the external factors for Nissan Motor Corporations is the gross domestic product, which is also known as GDP, inflation, exchange rate, and interest rate. So now let's proceed to the methodology used to carry out these studies. There are 3 types of methodology used to obtain the result, which the first one is statistical analysis, the second is data analysis, and the third one is statistical package for social sciences, or known as SPSS software. For information, the years of observation for this study is 5 years, which is from the year of 2014 until year 2018. So by refer back to the internal factors that I mentioned just now, so the internal factors can be separated into the subsections in order to discuss in more details. So the first one, credit risk, can be measured by using average collection period and debt to income ratio. The liquidity risk can be measured by using current ratio and quick ratio, while the operational risk can be measured by operational ratio and operating margin. The last one is corporate governance index, is measured by the 5 pillars of corporate governance. Data analysis used is the multiple regression analysis was used to determine the impact of independent variables on the dependent variable. The dependent variable for this study is return on assets. In this data analysis, there are 3 models used, which the first model is firm-specific factors. These factors is the combination of all the internal factors to determine the first objective of this study, which is to determine the internal factors that may affect the company performance. The second model for this study is macroeconomic factors, which is the combination for all the external factors to determine the second research objective, which is to investigate the external factors that may affect the company performance. The third model is the internal and external models, which is a combination of internal and external models to determine the third research objectives, which is to examine the internal and external factors that affect the company performance. So the last methodology used is statistical package for social sciences, which also known as SPSS. SPSS software had been used to obtain the descriptive statistic for these studies. So now let's proceed with the next part, which is the finding and analysis part. So the first session in this part I'd like to discuss is the descriptive statistic analysis part. The descriptive analysis with the dependent variables, which is return on assets (ROA), and the independent variables, which are the internal factors and external factors of the company. From the descriptive statistic result, we can get the amount of mean and standard deviation for each of the variables. For ROA, the mean shown in the descriptive analysis is 0.0311 or 3.11% within the 5 years, and it can be assumed that the return on assets for profit for the company is good to make income in the company. As for standard deviations, it shows 0.0069, which also 0.69%, which is nearly to 0. For internal variable, the variable that shows the standard deviation is nearly equal to 0 as operational ratio and operating margin. While for the external variables, the external variable mean for interest rate of Nissan Motor Corporation shows 0.1 and the standard deviation is 0. Standard deviation of 0 shows that the mean for interest rate will remain unchanged throughout these 5 years. Now is the correlation. In this part, the variables that give the largest impact on to return on asset is debt to income ratio. Debt to income ratio are negative correlated with ROA. This negative correlated indicates a good phenomena to the company because the increase of profitability at the same time decrease the debt to income ratio. The variable that is not significant to the return on asset is operational ratio. Another result for the internal variable shows the debt to income ratio as bringing the largest impact toward the ROA. Debt to income ratio is significant to the dependent variable, which brings a significant value of 0.004 to ROA. While for the external variable, the exchange rate is the significant to the dependent variable, which is return on assets. It brings a significant value of 0.008 towards ROA. For the third model, which is the internal and external variable, the most significant variable is the debt to income ratio. It brings a significant value of 0.004, which is below the alpha value p less than 0.05. It means that the variable is perfectly significant to represent the model. In model summary result for internal variables, the variables that have the largest impact towards the company is debt to income ratio. R squared indicates how much of the variables explain the dependent variable. Debt to income ratio brings a value of 0.953 in R squared to the Nissan Motor Corporation. So now is the coefficient part. For the internal factors, debt to income ratio is the internal factors that influence the dependent variable the most. Negative beta value indicates the negative influence for the dependent variable. While for the external factors, the external variables that brings the coefficient result for this part is the exchange rate. Exchange rate carry a t value of negative 6.464 and beta value of negative 0.966. In conclusion, we can know that exchange rate has a negative influence towards return on assets. While for the third model, Debt to income ratio has the highest impact with t-value, which is negative 7.772 to the profitability compared with other variables. The t-value of debt to income ratio have a big influence towards the company because the smaller number of significance shows the biggest of t-value. In this assignment, the beta of debt to income ratio is negative 0.976, which indicates that it brings a negative influence towards the company. For external variable, exchange rate is the variable that have the largest impact towards return on assets, which bring a R-square value of 0.933. While for the third model, which is the combination of internal and external variable, the debt to income ratio brings a R-square value of 0.953 or 95.3% towards the Nissan Motor Corporation. In conclusion, based on the result obtained in finding and analysis part, we can know that there are three models included in the regression model, which is the internal factors, external factors, and the combination of internal and external factors. As a result, the regression model that uses internal factors is same as the regression models that uses the combination of internal and external models. Therefore, we can say that the internal factor has the influence towards the dependent variable, which is ROA. According to the coefficient among the internal factors, the internal variable that has the most significant influence towards the ROA is debt to income ratio. This means that whenever the debt to income ratio increases, the return on asset will increase as well. For external variables, exchange rate is the external factors that has the largest impact and the negative influence towards the company performance. As recommendations, in order to control and improve the company performance, the debt to income ratio is needed to be increased as well. In order to increase the debt to income ratio, Nissan Motor Corporation need to enhance their ability to manage monthly payments and debts repay. Besides, the corporate governance is also very important towards the company. This is because the corporate governance may help the company to maintain their stability and the company value in the share market. Therefore, the company is recommended to enhance and foster their corporate governance in their daily business operations.